Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Washington Radio Show podcast. I am your host, Juan Mendoza. The show is being brought to you by Lila Lisa Promotions, sponsored by Marasul Tequila, the new face of tequila. On this week's show, we have Sarah Monique. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to our Washington Radio Show live show. We are here, and the show is being brought to you by Lila Lisa Promotions, sponsored by our very own Marasul Tequila, the new face of tequila. And we got an awesome artist down from the Rio Grande Valley out there and down in the valley, Miss Sarah Monique. Sarah, what's going on?
How's it going? I'm doing so good. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a while.
I know it's been a very long while, but thank God that you have me back, and I'm just grateful and honored to be here with you.
Yeah, you've been MIA for a little bit. Of course, some reasons. We'll see if we can get into that. But yeah. I'm glad that you're back. I know you changed your style up a little bit. The music has changed a little bit for you guys, and you look a lot happier.
I feel a lot happier. Definitely, yes, that is true.
Awesome. Did it get cold down there yet?
It's cold. It's even cold inside my house. I was like, you know what? I don't want to put the heater because then it gets hot. And then, it's kind of like when you're laying down, you want one foot in and one leg out and one leg in. And yeah, that's how I feel. So I was like, I'll just put a sweater on.
That's good. So how you been?
I've been doing really good. I've been really blessed. And just focusing on the positive things of life that God has been, bringing upon me. And so I've been doing really good. So yeah, I mean, I know you and Lila are doing great. I caught up with her not too long ago, and so I'm glad that you guys are doing great. So woohoo!
Yeah, things have been going great. The beginning years, it was a little bit hectic, but we got over all that stuff, and since I moved down here, everything's been great. It's been awesome. Yeah. For the first time in my adult life, I'm happy. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. It's a feeling that, you can't get over because you wait for it for so long and then it's finally here and you just can't even believe it, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, you've been gone for quite a while. I know you went through some stuff and, it took a toll on your music, and your music, it really showed a lot of things that was going on at the time. I don't want to get too in deep with it, whatever, it's a past, but it really showed in your music.
We can be transparent all we want. I mean, it's part of my testimony, you know what I mean? So I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah. And you never know, someone who could be listening might be going through the same thing or probably went through the same thing as I did. So I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a great artist. Your music, you have a, like a norteño mariachi background, Tejano background. You did a lot of it, and it showed in your music and stuff. So, I mean, how long have you been performing and singing overall?
I started in 2012. That's when I started. 2012, 2013 is when I started my musical career, when we recorded the first album, Un Sueño Realidad. Mm-hmm. That's when it basically began. So it's been several years now. I still feel like up and coming in a lot of ways. But I've been, I haven't been around that long per se, but it's been a good while, good enough experience to experience certain things. But yeah, in the times it's transitioned a lot to the style, to the wording, to the messages and all that great stuff. So yeah.
That's good. A couple people are online here. David Mata says hello.
Hi.
Dave Hernandez says saludos. Irene Mendoza says saludos. Everybody says hi. If you guys have any questions out there on Facebook, make sure you guys drop them in the comments and we'll answer for you.
Yeah.
But how did you end up getting into the business? I mean, you said you got in 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm. How did you end up in the business?
So I always knew since I was little that I wanted to sing. In fact, I should have said that. Professionally, I started in 2013, but I had always been singing since at the age of like 6 or 7. And it started off in school, like around first grade, where I was really intrigued by the music and by performing. And at that time, Selena was a big thing. Laura Canales for me was one of the main artists that I would listen to a lot growing up. And of course, amongst the other women that were performing at that time. And so I knew since then that I had been, been given a gift of music, singing, and I didn't know I was good. I mean, even to this day, I'm like, you know, but I knew I could carry a tune,
Yeah.
and I knew that I loved it. And so I just loved, all the hype and the attention when, music was on there, and I was never really shy about it. And so that's when it all started. And it just, it was a deal. At that time I was married, and the deal breaker between my ex-husband and I at that time was, you have to finish college first, then you can pursue your music career if you want. He's
Mm.
like, because you're not the first nor the only one that wants to sing, and you got to be able to support yourself. And sure enough, so I graduated with my bachelor's in 2012, and then that's when the musical career started for me.
What did you graduate in? What was your trade?
So my bachelor's degree is in social work, as well as my master's degree that I just got last December. So yeah,
Nice. Congratulations.
thank you.
Nice. So with all that going on, you were hitting up a rough area, I guess. You were uh how'd you call it? I don't know. Let me correct me if I'm saying this wrong. Domestic violence, and all that other stuff going on at
Mhm.
that point. Which did it affect your musical career at that point?
I'm gonna be very transparent as to where I was then to where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when I was starting with my musical career, I'm going to be very honest. The enemy used the musical career to entice me to a
Yeah.
world that wasn't true. He whispered lies like, "Hey, it's better on this other side. The grass is greener. You want to come and do
Mm-hmm.
this? It's fun." And so that's how I was lured into things that I shouldn't have gotten into. And it led to my divorce. Primarily me, I decided that I didn't want to be there. I wanted to focus on what I thought was more important at that time, which was music. And so
Mm-hmm.
then along that time, experiencing singlehood after 15 years, I'd never, it was my very first relationship ever. Um, I was 13 all the way to like 20 something when I finally got divorced. And then, I met another individual, which, the relationship wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And it just turned out that I had to learn pretty much the payment of sin. Basically,
Yeah.
I entered into a very sinful relationship and a very sinful life. And what the devil promises is going to be great, he's a liar. It wasn't that way.
Yeah.
But the Bible does tell us that whatever the enemy uses to destroy, he turns it around for his glory, and I believe that's exactly what he did. I had to go through that trial and tribulation of experiencing for the first time a very toxic relationship, domestic violence, my traumas resurfacing, from childhood traumas to then becoming an adult.
Mm-hmm.
um that's where the Lord placed for me, Jerry and Mud Records, and that album Esta Noche Te Olvido is what helped me. It was the beginning of my healing. And during that time I didn't realize that the Lord was already, working in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And Esta Noche Te Olvido was really the what started, my healing process. And
Yeah.
so you can see in the music video where I'm talking about con Esta Noche Te Olvido, el vino, está representando la sangre de Jesucristo.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my way of coping and healing versus going into drugs and having one night stands or whatever the case, what people do for healing.
Yeah. Was it very hard to get out of that situation, to be able to find yourself and see who you were in this world by yourself again?
Hmm.
Was it
Um,
hard?
it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie, leaving certain types of situations are never easy, especially when there's no inner healing, or, you have this fear, and I'm not just talking about relationships. It could be jobs, it could be moving from one place to another, just career moves. But yeah, I mean, it was hard to stand, I say stand alone, but I really wasn't alone in that
Mm-hmm.
entire process. I really wasn't. But that's how it felt at that moment. But yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah. Let's see. Before we continue any further, we got a couple comments here. We got Cristelo. He says, "What's up, Juan and
Hey,
Sarah?
what's
How's it
up,
going out there?"
Cristela?
Cristelo, he's been on our countdown quite a bit. Marina Michelle Morales, she says She says, "You're not good. You're amazing." I was hoping that was good.
Thank
I
you.
was trying to finish that out. I said, "You're not good." I was like, "Okay," but I'm glad she said you're amazing. Okay, let's go. Let's see who else. TDK's in the house. TDK, what's going on? TDK, Secubo, saludos, Sarah
Saludos.
Monique.
We go way back.
TDK, he's been making his way out there. He's in music
Yeah.
videos nowadays.
Oh,
He
you
went
know him, huh?
Hollywood. He went Hollywood.
That's awesome.
Ronnie Lucero, he says congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be having Ronnie Lucero on the show here in March, right before Fanfare. Uh, I love that Christian transition. It is so powerful. I've listened quite a few times. Where are you going now? Are you by Tejano Mariachi, Christian, Tejano, or gospel? Good question.
So, in this transition, I know, and that was one thing that I had to pause and reflect on, because when I felt the Lord calling me, I did it so like this, and I don't believe now, looking back, that that's what God wanted me to do. I was just so in the moment where I was like, no, this is what He said, and I have to do it now. Versus, you cannot give a baby steak. You got to give him milk. That's something
Mhm.
my honey always tells me. Mike is always, spiritually feeding me in ways that I can understand it. And I think that's what I did. I was trying to choose steak before I could, even process the milk.
Yeah.
So I ended up saying goodbye just like that. And in that time, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I had said I was just going to go full Christian. I was going to do nothing but that. However, as my walk has continued and I've built my relationship with God, um, the Lord has moved in me to perform songs that, yes, glorify Him and that send a good message. Basically, the style will remain the same. The Tejano Mariachi Conjunto. I've never really liked to label myself, because the Lord has blessed me to be able to do all kinds of music. Now, do I
Mhm.
have a preference? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
um but I am still going to stick with trying to reach the audience, with my gift. And I one thing I don't want to promote is something that's not going to lead you to do anything good. I cannot force anyone not to drink, or when they listen to my music or whatever. But music speaks, and it can
Mhm.
heal us, or it can take us back to that moment where you were hurting and triggered, and when
Yeah.
you're doing you're crying. And so my goal is that if you are going to cry, you're on your knees crying, but not because you're hurting, but because you're asking God to help you.
Yeah. Very good answer. Let's see. We got more comments here. Our very own sponsors, Marasul Tequila says saludos, saludos. Going out to
Saludos.
Susie and Suzanne. Sean Michael, he says, Sarah, I miss you so much, Sarah
I
Monique.
miss you, Sean. We gotta catch up soon.
We haven't seen him in a while either. Let's see. TDK, Mathis, Texas. One of his favorite shows ever from
Hey, it's
Mathis.
coming back. Who knows? I might perform there again. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Irma Aguilar, one of our artists, she says, Bendiciones
Gracias.
from San Antonio, Texas. She's a awesome mariachi artist
Oh,
as well.
my
So
brother Frankie,
Frankie
definitely one of my
Caballero,
brothers.
Frankie Caballero, awesome dude. Saludos all the way from the RGV.
Yes, guys, check out his music if you haven't done so.
Yep.
Lila.
My baby, she's across the street eating some sopa right now. Eating some caldo. Says Sarah.
I was about to ask, where is she?
She loves you. She loves you.
I love Lila. She's always been awesome.
But that's great that you overcame these obstacles. We were at times we were wondering, wonder what's going on. Did she manage to heal herself and carry on? And we know you found romance again. But when we'll get into that in a minute. But when was the moment that you said, you know what, I got to turn this around? I got to do for myself. Let God handle everything, and just start over again.
To be honest, it all happened. I was sitting with Mike outside at our porch, at the porch at the house. I was in town visiting. And it was one of those nights where I felt so heavy emotionally, and I was drinking. And when you drink, your true emotions come out, either your anger or your sadness or your
Mhm.
happy, whatever, like they call it, an angry or happy drunk. And in that moment, I had been carrying so much of this doubt in me, this I'm never gonna make it. This industry doesn't accept me the way I would hope for, or I'm never invited to do things, or getting booked is really hard. So I was having a pity party, really. And
Yeah.
he turns around and he tells me, he's like, you were designed and you were set apart for a reason. He's like, your gift is music, but God has a calling for you. And at that time I was crying and crying, and I'm like, well, why? Like, why am I not where this person's at and this person at? And the Lord in that moment revealed to me, like, I was carrying, without me realizing, I was carrying a lot of jealousy, and I was carrying a lot of self-doubt, and I was carrying a lot of anger for the wrong reasons. And in that moment, I just said, you know what? Like, I'm just going to ask God to help me, because I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
What was once my passion and my love started becoming, yes, it's a business, but it started becoming it was bringing out a competitive side to me that I didn't think I ever had. And it wasn't a good side for me. I was very consumed with, how do I market this? And what do I do this? And I was disappearing more and more and more, and trying to become something, getting lost into the idea of fame. And in the background, I was losing, my kids' attention. I was losing, my partner too. I was losing a lot of what really mattered. And so at that time when I was crying, and I said, you know what, I'm done. And that's when I paused, and that's when I felt God really calling me. And so I decided to just focus on him and praise him, because without him, I wouldn't even have this voice. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And, my dad always used to tell me when I was younger that, my voice was meant to glorify him and to sing for him.
Mhm.
And at that time I was like, whatever. But he wasn't wrong. And
Yeah.
so, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The Lord revealed to me, the Bible says the mouth speaks out of the abundance of the heart. And in
Mhm.
my heart, I was carrying a lot of that,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and take a break real quick. We're going to play one of your singles, and this one is called Supe que me amabas. This is an awesome song right here. So
Thank
if
you.
everybody hasn't heard it, you will hear it right here on the Master Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Desde el principio, cuando te necesité, desde el momento cuando la mirada se, desde ese día cuando sola me encontraba, cuando tu mirada en mí se fue a poner, supe que me amabas, lo entendí, y supe que buscabas más de mí, que mucho tiempo me esperaste y no llegué, supe que me amabas, aunque huí lejos de tu casa, yo me fui con un beso y con amor, me regalaste tu perdón. Estoy aquí, y estoy aquí, Señor. Sarah Monique. Y cuando lejos me encontraba, te sentí, sabía que entonces me cuidabas y te vi, como un susurro fue tu voz en el silencio, cada día me atraías hacia ti, supe que me amabas, lo entendí, y supe que buscabas más de mí,
All right, that was an awesome single right there. Super Que Me Amabas by Miss Sarah Monique. That's an awesome, that's a beautiful song.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So if you guys are just joining us right now, we have Miss Sarah Monique joining us all the way down from the Rio Grande Valley. Next week, we're going to have Miss Angel Jimenez. We're going to be having Nacido, Danny Farias, and Pete Ibarra is going to be joining us pretty soon. Grupo Sendero, Eddie Ray Varela, Ronnie Lucero, they're going to be joining us all before fanfare time. We're going to be getting ready for fanfare coming March 16th through the 19th out there downtown Market Square, San Antonio, Texas. We're going to be doing some interviews at the Internet Radio Gala March 16th at Mi Mercado Flea Market, hosted by Mr. Vic Gonzalez out there. And it's going to be the very last one. So hopefully you guys get to go out there and mingle with all of us, all the internet stations, and mingle with each other, get some interviews for our future shows. And after that, we're going to continue on with these shows right here. But today we have Miss Sarah Monique joining us. I almost felt guilty about talking about tequila over here, and you're. I was like, "Oh, our sponsors, hey, Mara Azul Tequila."
No,
Yeah.
that's just not. I know people start to feel that way, but it doesn't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with drinking or anything like that. I mean, everybody's convictions are different. It's just not getting drunk, of course, is what the Bible says, right? But I mean, Jesus drank wine.
Yeah.
But no, don't feel guilty. They're your sponsors, and hey, everybody must drink, responsibly, and so that's on them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, we drink responsibly.
There you
We
go.
do it here at the house and try to stay away from everything going on out there. It's a crazy world, but keeping on with the show here. The song is great. How did this song come about for you?
So this song was actually introduced to me when I was like in high school, if I'm not mistaken. And my mom actually loved this song, and she kept telling me like, Sarita, you need to learn this song, and I don't know what. So I'm like, yeah, okay, mom. So when I would hear it, I never understood why it would make me cry. And I never really knew that it was a gospel song until the end, until you hear Estoy aquí, amado Salvador. That's what I was like, wait, who is he talking about? Right. And then later I realized, she was talking about God. And so when I had this, calling to record my first song, at that time, my accordion player, who, may he rest in peace, I told him, I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And he was all for it. He was excited. And I said, but this was the first song where I believe God had been speaking to me since way back when. And he's been so patient, and like literally more than 10 years later, here I am. And so I wanted to do this song my style, my way. And I wanted to showcase that, listening to praise and worship music didn't have to be boring, and didn't have to, make you fall asleep, if some people feel that way. And so that's what we did. And I'm very blessed that Dago was a part of this. It was his last recording with me, so I'm glad that it was praising God. So
yeah. Is it a big change? Is it a big change for you to sing Christian gospel music, however you want to call it, compared to what you sang before?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a big change. And actually, my first experience really doing it live, it's been twice, but the very first time it was out there in, I think it was in Beeville, and it was for a Christmas toy drive. And I didn't get to perform with the band at that time. I had just gone out there, did my part, and I did some pista. And I'll be honest, the Lord is still humbling me in that, because I hate to do shows without a band.
Yeah.
But I had to pause and pray and said, this isn't about me. It's about, any opportunity. And I had already prayed about it. And I told the Lord, like, any show that I do have, if it's your will for me to sing, I want to continue singing my old stuff. But in between, I'm going to honor you and speak of you. And that's exactly what I did out there for the first time. And I had, certain individuals crying and feeling that song.
Mm.
And that to me was amazing. So I got to be able to experience that. And I'm just praying that more and more, as, more shows, God willing, are aligned, that I can continue seeing that experience of people, being, transparent with God, and just feeling that song.
Yeah. So you still are performing your older stuff though?
Yeah. So when I completely stopped, I was like, well, I have nothing to perform, so what am I gonna? And so the thing is that I was condemning my own self, and God doesn't do that. Like, God doesn't make you feel guilty about, you know what I mean? Now there is, you know, when the Holy Spirit convicts you, right? That's different. But I was really hard on myself, like, no, I'm never gonna do this, and then you can't do this, and
You're dealing with your
um,
inner struggles, huh?
right. I was really dealing with them, and I was, you know, kind of being like led to thinking religion, and you know, I was like, no. And so, you know, as I prayed, you know, I feel at peace performing what I used to perform, or as far as the messages that I had before, because that's where I was at that time before I met God. You know, I knew of him, I just didn't have a relationship.
Mhm.
And so no, I still perform it. Like, now that I've been doing my shows, I'm performing my music, and then the new ones will be tagged along, you know, as I keep recording new stuff.
Mhm.
But I still want to keep that same style. I still plan on recording mariachi music. I still plan on recording songs that we all go through, you know, that heartache and all of that. But instead of dealing with our heartache in a way that it's just going to keep us more in the hole,
Mhm.
I want you to be able to get out of that, you know?
There you
So,
go.
mhm.
Let's see. We got a few more comments here. Miss Selena Natera out there, out in the valley. She says, "Still have Esta Noche Te Olvido on my playlist. Best wishes, Sarah. Saludos, Machigo Radio,
Awesome.
Laila Lily's Promotions." So she still has Esta Noche Te Olvido on her playlist.
Yeah, I mean, that song, you know, and I have to say thank you so much to everyone. That song continues to, you know, be the most played. You know, I see my stats, and um it just keeps growing. And, you know, who am I? You know, the Lord uses me to help someone with that song,
Mhm.
then I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure people are led to go and watch the video, and so the
yeah,
message speaks on removing yourself from something that's not for you.
yeah. Miss Arlene Franco says is her favorite song, the one that we just played a minute ago.
Mm.
TDK, George Salazar is in the house. He's watching all the way from Holland, Michigan.
Nice.
Saludos, George. TDK. Let's see what else we got here. We got Luis AG. He's watching in. Saludos, Luis
Saludos,
AG.
amigos.
Awesome, awesome artist. Vic Gonzalez. He says hi, Sarah and Juan.
Hi,
Uh,
Vic.
he's the one that's going to be doing the very last internet radio gala in San Antonio come
Nice.
March 16th. He's he's fighting his health issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's it'll be the 10th anniversary and it'll be the final one out there. So hopefully everybody can go out there and wish him. I'm sure he's going to be in the business somewhere down the line. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think he's
Vic,
going to
I will
completely give
continue
up.
to. I will pray for you for healing, and may God restore your health, and may you continue to, you know, just do what you do, and you know, whatever it is that you love doing, which is being here with us and the music and stuff like that. I know we go way back as well, so definitely be praying for you.
There you go. Thank you to everybody who's been sharing the video. Please share the video. Let everybody know that we're having an interview. Awesome vocals on that song. George Salazar says awesome vocals.
Thank you.
Freddie Anzualda, he says hello. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Freddie. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing good.
So are you gonna go to fanfare this year?
I don't know. I have not been to fanfare like in 4 years. um, yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for many reasons,
Mhm.
and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe my honey and I will go just to go catch the acts. As far as performing, I have not had that desire to do so. So, but we'll
Mhm.
see. You know, we'll see.
There you go. Speaking of your honey, like I said earlier, I'm glad that throughout everything that happened in your life, of course, the past, I don't know how many years, but you finally found a relationship,
Mhm.
that, and how's everything going with that?
Well, the relationship kind of found me, to be honest. um, you know, I've learned. I was actually talking to Lila about this. I have learned the beautiful side of being private a little bit more. I used
Mhm.
to be very transparent and very open. I am still very transparent, but you know, there now I'm very selective as to what I share and what I don't share.
Yeah.
You know, he has taught me a lot in that area. I'm still learning because he's a lot more private than I am. But things are going great. You know, he was the reason the Lord really used him. And I say this everywhere we go. And whatever the outcome may be, like I've always said, even publicly, I've said he could either be for a lifetime or a season. You don't know what the Lord has in store,
Mhm.
right? But I've always said, the Lord used this bad boy looking guy to catch my attention, and he was the one who introduced me, or he reintroduced me, I should say, to Christ. And
Mhm.
when I would visit, I would see like his Bible on his nightstand. I was like, what is this guy? He reads the Bible. And yeah, and he just speaks so beautifully about the Lord whenever, we do talk. And so that is what, that was very captivating for me. And I just drew me more, and I wanted to also know the Lord like the way he knew him. And so, yeah, I mean, things are going as great as can be. We're very blessed. He's really, he's a great supporter. He doesn't mind being in the backside when he needs to be, but sometimes we do have our moments where like, no, it's me, no, it's you.
Yeah.
Because he's very well known too with doing the shows and promotions and stuff like that. And so, very proud that he hustles it, and he's just very supportive. So yeah.
There you go. Well, we're happy for you. We're glad that you are happy in a relationship. You have a big smile on your face. And not so angry all the time, which we've seen in the past, and
Mhm.
social media. But
Yeah.
it's very true to keep a lot of things off of social media. And I see a lot of people, they put all their business out there, and I'm like, I don't know if it's for comedy purposes or it's just what do they plan. They want an audience or something, but the best things to do is to keep a lot of the stuff private.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that. And for those who have been following me for a long time, um I went from, like I said, being an open book to now it's like I'm very selective as to what I want you to know. It's like that, I've seen that quote where me based on what I show you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've learned, the whole part of being private. And I'm just learning as I go even more in this relationship. I'm learning a lot of reflection of me, of where I need to change, where I need to do better for myself and for my partner.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I've just learned to, because even with all the likes and the comments and stuff, that doesn't mean that everybody is really rooting for you.
Yeah.
And so I've learned that the hard way. And my reputation became very, oh, Sarah's so dramatic, and oh, this and this and that, which they may not be wrong. I mean, I was in drama. But I've just learned to, control my emotions. People are so
Yeah.
quick to post what they're thinking. And, all glory to God, because God is really the one who's transformed me. Really.
Yeah. Nice. So now we got a couple singles out already, and you got a actually more recent one, which we're gonna play here in a little bit. Yo
Mhm.
siento amor. But what do you got going on besides these songs? You're gonna come out with a whole album, or what's next for you?
Well, before I even go into that, I do want to say thank you so much to Mas Chingon Radio and to Lila Promotions. I want to say thank you for continuing to play my music, regardless of the message, the style, because I had this concept and this idea that it was going to be accepted with open arms, and that it was going to like skyrocket, and
Mhm.
people were going to, be happy and listen to this music. And it was actually quite the opposite.
Mhm.
Um, Not many radio stations aired it. Not many people shared it. Not
Yeah.
many people tuned into it. Not many people seem to have been excited for it. But I learned as I continued, reading and my relationship with God, that that is exactly what's going to happen. So I
Yeah.
do want to say thank you very much for still showcasing this music, my music, and just, being supportive in that aspect, because all it takes is for one person to hear it and allow them to transform them, and God can use that. And so I just
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. It's no problem at all. I mean, we love the music. I mean, we do play a Christian show on Wednesdays and Sundays, and we have other Christian gospel songs. We had Geneva's when you guys all took part in that one.
yeah.
Even with the name of our station, Mas Chingon Radio. I mean, we still believe in God no matter what, and it's not an
Yeah.
evil station or anything like that. But
Yeah.
we still love the music no matter what. We want to support everybody, regardless if you're singing gospel, or drunken songs or happy songs, dancing songs, laughing songs, no matter what. I mean, it's music and it's great. So that's
Yes.
no matter what, we're always gonna have it here.
No, well, I appreciate it very much for accepting it, and playing it and just giving it that opportunity. But to answer your question, I'm actually in the works. We will be announcing something very cool, very exciting. I worked alongside Mad Records once again.
Mhm.
This was just a collaboration that we decided to do. Very last out of the nowhere, like very last minute. It was very out nowhere. Um, so Marina and Jerry and we got together, and we will be releasing something secular music. But this song is a beautiful song. It was introduced to me way before when, and it had just stayed with me. And I just asked, like, I would really like to record this song. And so, yes, a new song's coming. It'll be releasing next month on Valentine's Day. And
Nice,
so you guys will be getting that as well. We'll be recording the music video this Sunday.
nice.
So I'm really excited just to see cómo lo va a recibir el público. Y pues estamos en el momento grabando más música and just see what the Lord, sends my way. And so, yeah, I mean, I plan on working on an EP, which consists of 5 to 6 songs.
Mhm.
I'm being very picky and selective because I want it to be a really strong one. I want it to be able to speak to everyone in every situation. So that is in the works right now.
That's great. Let's see, we got to hear David Mata. He wrote a long paragraph here, so let's see. He wrote a book. Sarah, when you recorded the Esta Noche, it was very moving. Once at a club here in San Antonio, some women were very charismatically receptive because you related to a young lady that passed because of the very messages, and no one paid attention, or uh, no one paid attention, I guess. Question: is there still the effect of it? What you expected?
I'm
Attention
not
to the
sure.
cause and the message.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question. I don't know if the effect of like how people respond to it is that
Yeah,
is
I'm
that
guessing that's where he's going with that. How when you have your music out and you're talking about these situations that you've been in before, and other
Mhm,
women, I guess, women, men, because men do go through these things
mhm.
too. I'm
Yes.
one of them who went through these
Mhm.
situations too. When they tell you that they went through these same situations, how does that affect you?
I wouldn't say that it affects me. If anything, I've learned to sympathize and empathize more. I am now part of a situation that many go through, some far worse than others. That's not to take away from how it affects everyone or anyone.
Mm,
But I'm more sympathetic and empathetic, and more so, for me, it's a rewarding feeling to see and to know that in some form or way I helped heal, or that the Lord used me to heal. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't say that it affects me, because it doesn't. I'm able to sympathize and empathize with everyone, and then I could just relate. I know where they're coming from. I know where the hurt and pain comes, because when you hear that song, you can hear it in me. You can
mhm.
hear where I was in pain and I was hurting, and so yeah, I don't. It doesn't affect me in that form of way. I try not
Have
to
you
let clear.
have you had anybody come tell you, say, I heard your music, I understand it, it's helped me, I felt comfort in it, I understand exactly what you're going through, and I've managed to move on.
Oh, many times. This song out of nowhere blew up last year on my birthday. I think that was like God's birthday gift to me. I was like, thank you. It like blew up on TikTok out of nowhere. So many females, so many individuals, even men, um, they got to know who I was with that song, and they ended up saying, I've never heard the song, I've never heard of you, but I love it. It spoke to me. I'm currently going through this situation. Not just with this Esta Noche Te Olvido, but even with Supe Que Me Amabas, I'll get, messages like, I was having a hard day, and this song, like, it just really like made me feel better. And so, I mean, that's just so rewarding. I love that. It feels good to know that your music is paying off in a positive way.
There you go. That is awesome. Just so much that people go through, like you said, no matter women, man, child, go through so many of these phases in life, and they find comfort in music. They find comfort in an artist who talks about these relationships and these things that people actually go through,
Yeah.
and so many people can relate to all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And so, like I said, it's very rewarding. And it's also really rewarding to see the little ones sing this song. I don't know who in kindergarten broke their heart, but they're feeling this song.
He didn't share his crayons. She got a broken heart. I
I
saw
know.
that. I think I saw that video. It was a little girl. I don't know if it was at a party or something. The little girl was actually singing one of your songs, but like real loud too, man. Like loud and proud for it, dude.
Oh,
That
I
was
know.
that
I've
was that
seen
was pretty
so
cool.
many videos of those, and I'm like, it's so funny and it's adorable at the same time. But I'm just really blessed that I'm able to have at least experienced that momentum, that love, and that support. Because not many of us get it. And even when I was unappreciative at that time, with the momentum that it had, because I wanted more and more and more and more. Um, I see now looking back, the Lord has really showed me like how loved I was and am, how accepted I really was. Yes, there was doors here and there that would not open, would not budge, but those were not doors meant for me anyway. And
Mhm.
so, I'm just very fortunate in that aspect.
Nice. Do you have any performances coming up?
I do. Those of you that are going to be in the Corpus Christi area, we're going to be performing February the 11th in Corpus Christi. It is going to be a dinner, dance, Valentine, or dinner, yeah, dinner and a dance Valentine's event. There's going to be comedy. We're going to have Happy performing. He is hilarious. And then we're going to have Los Arias out there, and I will be performing as well alongside with them. And so it's officially my first show with the band back. Like it's a full set. Um, I had a private, last year, but this
Mhm.
year it's the first performance, and God willing, I'll be in a city near you.
Nice. Johnny Lily Vasquez Monique. Hello, from Johnny Vasquez and Tejano Sound Band. We played together in San Antonio. Always love your vocal and your style.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Saludos.
Let's see. We got Mr. Thomas says that is very true. Using songs and artists to help a foundation, great music helps us all.
Yep, I agree.
I think that's why a lot of us get into music, either radio standpoint or artists going out there singing is just, just to heal us in some way, I guess. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but music brings a lot of people together. Music can do a lot of things. Music can heal you, make you remember things.
Yeah.
They can bring you together, like being in the radio, being on, in music and stuff like that. Brought me and Lila together. Surprisingly, this industry did. So that's why I
Hmm.
give it all to the Hana music.
I mean, that's how Mike and I met unexpectedly. I was doing a show in Robstown,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Who is this guy? Like coming over here?"
That's
He
it. Tell
has
the
his
story.
version.
Tell the
He has
story.
his
What happened?
version. So I always, he has his version. He's actually not even here, so he can't share his version, right? But my version, mine's the true version anyway.
Guys
Um,
always have their own versions.
yeah,
I
he'll tell you that I fell into his arms. I'm like, dude, no, I didn't. Um, so, I had a show in Robstown. It was a Cinco de Mayo. Dan Pena from KSAB at that time, and he rest in peace.
Mhm.
He invited me to be part of that show. So it was my first show with a mariachi and everything. And he says, I didn't know this part, but Barbie from KSAB at that time,
Mhm.
she was the one who told him, like, hey, you need to stay and watch this girl. Like, she's really good. You can really help her around the Corpus area. So Mike's like, all right, let me see what's going on here, right? And so he checks it out, notices the crowd is doing really well. So I'm getting off stage, and he's like, hey, my name is Mike. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay. Like, I got to go meet my fans, right? So I can't say that I blew him off, but in a way I kind of blew him off. Went and did my thing. Took me a while. He waited like almost an hour to talk to me about, hey, I have these shows, whatever. Um, and that was basically how it started. I exchanged numbers for business purposes. And then after a certain show, we just kind of clicked, man. There was just this chemistry, and
Business purposes.
really was. It really was. I promise you. I was not looking for anything. I was not interested in nothing. I was solely focused on my career. Really, I was.
You were playing hard to get. That's what it was.
No, I just wasn't in. I wasn't. At the beginning, I was like, no, I'm not even gonna say that comment. No. I was like, who is this guy? But no, we just clicked, and it was music is what brought us together, really. After a certain show, we weren't even talking anything like sexual or anything like that. It was very professional, very like we just had a very good bond and friendship at that time. And it just escalated from there. He was like a little boy in junior high school. You want to be my girlfriend? I was like, sure, I guess we're not. Nah. No, but I mean, it was unexpected for both of us, really, because even he will tell you, like, he was just, we were both, business mindset, and it happened. God wanted it to happen, I guess.
Nice. That's very good. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and play your newest single, which is called "Yo Sin Tu Amor," which I'm sure it's all on all the streaming platforms out there, and of course, it's on our station. What can you tell us about this song right here?
So, "Yo Sin Tu Amor" was written by Eduardo Yayo. They call him Yayo Anguiano, and then we had Cesar, who also partook in it. I can never say his last name right, so I don't want to mess it up here. I don't want to butcher it. Morcheco, I believe. I'm gonna try. So they actually were the first songwriters to reach out to me and say, Sara, escribimos una canción and you came to mind. They knew that I had already, been looking for, Christian music. And so they actually took time to sit together and write this song for me. And so Yo Sin Tu Amor was written with me in mind. But of course, it's speaking on God, how, without him, without his love, like we're lost, basically. We always turn to him to seek him and to guide us, and, he'll answer. And so without his love, there is no fulfillment. There is no light. It's all darkness, basically. Yeah. And so I really loved the song. It took me almost like 5 months to get it done, when normally it could take about a month. And reason behind that was I was really struggling with the absence of my accordion player not being there. His old buddies and his group that he was performing with decided to produce it for me. But then I got COVID and I got really sick, like scary sick. And then I lost my voice, really. I couldn't really catch my breath. I couldn't sing. So that also, like, I was in a state of mind where I was like, oh my God, like I will never take advantage of my lungs again. And it took a while, and this is why we finally released it in January.
Nice. It is a great song. I hope everybody enjoys this one. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna play this one. When we come back, we have more with Miss Sarah Monique. This one is called Yo Sin Tu Amor.
Después de ti encontré la paz que yo necesitaba. Antes
right, I hope everybody enjoyed that one right there. That was called Yo Sin Tu Amor. Awesome song by Miss Sarah Monique, who we have here. Thank you so much, Sarah, for everything. It's great catching up with you. Great music. Can't wait to see what else you have in store for us.
Yeah, the new song that's coming up, guys, it's going to be super awesome para todos los enamorados. It's going to be titled Celebremos el Amor. So we're going to celebrate love together. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. It will be coming really, really soon. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, Miss Sarah Monique. Make sure you guys join us next week. We're going to have Angel Jimenez. We're going to have Eddie Ray Varela, Nacido, Danny Farias, y Pete Ibarra, Grupo Sendero, and Ronnie Lucero up in the upcoming weeks leading up to Fanfare. And the show's being brought to you by my baby, Laila Cervantes, Laila Lee's Promotions, and of course, sponsored by Marasul Tequila, the new face of tequila. Sarah, thank you so much. Anything that you need from us, we're always here.
Yes, thank you so much. Big love to you guys. And para los que estaban aquí con nosotros, muchísimas gracias. And thank you for the questions, for the interaction. And just a shout out to all the artists that are out there hustling and, making music. I know it's not easy. I know it's expensive. So keep, doing what you're doing. And those that, listen to our music, stream it, share it. A share comes a long way. So thank you guys so much for all the love and the support throughout the years. Y felicidades una vez más a todos los que they're on the top 20, 50 countdown. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one is top 20 voted by everybody, and the top 50 is the most played, on the station and stuff. So, yeah, it's a way for these artists to get out there because, like I said before, a lot of these stations don't play you guys, and a lot of stations don't play all the new stuff still to this day. So somebody's got to play these songs out there. So
we appreciate you, Juan, you and Laila. So thank you so much. And God bless you and Mas Chingon Radio and Laila's promotions. And thank you guys so much once again for all that y'all do for all of us. And love you guys. And thank you guys so much.
No problem. Thank you so much for everything. God bless you and your husband as well and your families. And everybody out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you guys share it. It will be available on Spotify. That's right. Spotify plays videos now. So the interview will be on Spotify later on tonight. And of course on YouTube and of course on maschingonradio.com. Thank you so much, Sarah, for everything. And we'll hope to catch up with you soon in person.
Yes, definitely. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mas Chingon Radio Show podcast. I am your host, Juan Mendoza. The show is being brought to you by Laila Lisa Promotions, sponsored by Marasul Tequila, the new face of tequila. On this week's show, we have Sarah Monique.